Sean Duffy joins me now. Sean, no evidence, no connections, etc. $250,000, $250,000 wired to Hunter at Joe's address, when he was at Joe's address, by a Chinese businessman related to Hunter. Jonathan Lee is his name, whose daughter received a personal college recommendation from Joe Biden. I mean, talk about connecting the dots. There are a lot there to connect.
There was no evidence of Donald Trump colluding with Russia, and the FBI, the DOJ, they're all involved, and Democrats, the media, and they impeached on nothing Donald Trump. Now, you have real evidence. I mean, Joe Biden sat down with Hunter's clients, had dinner with clients, did phone calls with clients. You have shell companies filtering millions of dollars into the country through Hunter Biden. Here's my frustration, David. The FBI can simply unpack what's going on inside of these transactions that go to Hunter Biden. And did they flow to Joe Biden? Really easy to do. We saw that with Bob Menendez. They easily saw the cash in the pockets and the gold bars. They unpack it, they investigate, and lo and behold, there's charges. They refuse to do it against Hunter Biden. And so now the House, it's a legislative body. They're not an investigative body. They're not made to actually find these facts. But they're doing the best they can because the FBI is so partisan and won't look at Joe Biden. They have to do it. And by the way, I'm amazed in 9 months how much material they have on Hunter and Joe Biden.
And then there's the connections. And then there's the obstruction. I mean, the IRS agents who were following the money, and that was their job, were warded off by David Weiss and others in the Justice Department, warded off from investigating any connection between Joe and Hunter.
Which, when we talk about a shutdown that's looming, Republicans can't get their act together, be simple. FBI, DOJ, maybe CIA, IRS, EPA, pick a few things that the American people agree on. You have way too much money on your hands when you can play partisan politics inside these agencies.
Okay, the border. We got to talk about the border because we're going to be hearing about it tonight at the debate. There's a new poll out, by the way, showing that Donald Trump is gaining momentum. Donald Trump is gaining momentum among Hispanic voters in the Republican Party. The bottom line here is there are a lot of U.S. citizens who are Hispanics who do not like an open border such as we've seen because they had to do it the legal way. And now a lot of illegal migrants who came here illegally are getting freebies and getting work permits, et cetera.
Because Hispanic voters are American voters. They care about the economy. They care about transgender issues. They care about abortion. They care about the border. They care about their security and safety. And so when these things go awry under Joe Biden's administration, they look and go, is there an alternative? And obviously, they want to find a different party that's going to fit their values. Now, I think also in the poll that you referenced, David, is that if you have English-speaking Hispanics, Donald Trump is only 5% down off of Joe Biden. The Spanish-speaking Hispanics, it's like a 30-point range. So there's a difference in what language you speak, where you're at in the country, and it's probably the information flow that you're getting as you come into the country.